lady. And so the geographical change, I don't care if it was from North Dallas to South Dallas or South Dallas to Arlington or McKinney, as long as we got away from the people that already knew our game, then we could try it on some new people. And you know what? It worked. And it worked until I really showed up. The real me showed up. What they say with a real Slim Shady, please stand up. And sooner or later he stands up and his rep cannot represent him anymore, because even the rep becomes overtaken by who we really are. And folks are trying to figure out around us, who are you and what happened? What happened? Nothing happened. You were just blinded by the manipulation and the lies and the conning of who I really am. And he says, New Towns just gave me the opportunity to manipulate some new people. New Lovers gave me the same opportunity, right? Huh? Because she don't know who I am, and don't none of us go in telling the truth to begin with. We go in and we win them over. Don't let her give me none, then I know I'm in. And I ain't got to tell at all who I am. And if I do, I only give her bits and pieces of who I am. When we hoping in an attempt, when she find out who I am, that she's so caught up in her feelings, she won't leave no way. And they be stuck for years in a relationship that was manipulated with lies. And we trying to figure out why it ain't working. It's manipulated with lies. And he says, so even new lovers don't work, do we? Huh? We done jump from woman to woman, trying to find the right one that make us happy and please us, and it still don't work. And we ain't even talking about getting high. If I just change jobs, that'll work. He says, everything we tried failed. Everything we tried, psychiatrists, hospitals, recovery houses, lovers, new towns, new jobs, substitution, moderation, all of them failed. We begin to see that we had rationalized the most outrageous sort of nonsense to justify the mess that we had made of our lives. We really trying to come up with a reason why to make you believe how I ended up here. He says that we justified the most outrageous nonsense. And you know what? You know what? Every story that we come up with on the way home sounds good, don't it? Huh? You know, when you finally get broke and you realizing that the time is winding down and you gotta go home. And in our head, we done played up 4, 5 stories. And we pick one that sounds the best to who? Us, the one that's hot. That sound good, man. That sound good. But you know what? It was only formulated in here, wasn't it? It's something about that which I had formulated in here, how when it comes out vocally, even I leave saying, ain't no way I believe that one.
Are you serious? That's the best you come up with.
No. I be saying that to me. Yeah. I even don't believe it once I hear it myself. Yeah. It's something about hearing your own lies that you be like, now I know they didn't buy that one. That cold lick ain't it? When even you don't believe your own lie. But it sound good to me until I say something out loud and now I'm questioning my own lie. That's crazy, ain't it? Huh? It says, man, when we were beaten, we became good. Beaten means to be hammered into a desired shape. You follow me? Beaten means to be hammered into a desired shape. And so the literature says that when we were beaten, we became willing. I think about the potter's house, and I'll let y'all go eat. I think about the potter's house. And the story tells and goes, he says, go down to the potter's house, though. There at the potter's house, you'll see a man working on a wheel. And that which he is working on, molding and doing what potters do, becomes marred. Marred just means it has a defect in it. Something ain't right about it. And God sends a message and says, and this piece of clay that the potter was working on became marred, and he takes it and he crushes it and he starts all over. And the message from God was, can I not do as this potter has done with this clay? God wants to know that if the potter himself can take this clay and start over with it, can I not take you and start over with you? He says, I see some defects in you. I see some things that ain't right about you. And I want to take them and mold them and shape it into what seems best to me. But in the process, I need to take you and I need to break you a little bit. And I need to take you and I need to shape you a little bit. In the process of making you seem like what's best to me, I need to stretch you a little bit. That hurt just then. If we want God to work in our lives, and we want God to remold us, reshape us, we have to willing to allow God to crush us. You hear me? It's going to hurt. We already talked about the pain and the suffering today, didn't we? It's going to hurt. There's something about God that even when you just look at the when he say he blessed, he took it, he says he blessed it, he broke it, and he multiplied. And anything that is broken, when it is put back together, it is designed to grow stronger than it was before. And he says, man, I want to take this piece of clay and I want to mold it in what seems best to me. We got a problem with that. We jumping off the wheel because God is trying to mold us into what seems best to him. And we say, no, I already got my model. I don't want to be a little jar. I want to be a big old jar. And I want to have a bunch of colors. And he said, nah, I just want to make you brown or tan and, a little bitty jar. And he said, no, that ain't what I want. He says, but this is what seems, and it's amazing how we can tell God what's best for us. I ain't by myself. We tell God himself what's best for us. God, you don't know what you're doing. And he says, can I not take this? Can I not take this? Find me this scripture. Where your Bible? Give me yours. Can I not take this piece of clay and mold it and shape it into what seems best for me, to me?
That's Jeremiah. Paul's verse.
Jeremiah 18. And he says, but the jar that he was making did not turn out to he his hope. So he crushed it into a lump of clay and started all over. Then the Lord gave this message, O Israel, Can I not do to you as this potter has done to this clay? As the clay is in the potter's hands, so are you in my hands. That's a wonderful place to be. At least we in his hands. The problem is we keep trying to jump out his hand. If I announce, check this out, that a certain nation or kingdom is to be uprooted, torn down, and destroyed, but then that nation renounces evil ways, I will not destroy it as I had planned. And if I announce that I will plant and build up a certain nation or kingdom, but then that nation turns to evil and refuses to obey me, I will not bless it as I have said I would. On one hand, he says, y'all tripping, y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to do, I'm finna start all over. He says, but on the other hand, there are some folks that I want to bless, but they tripping, and I'm about to get them. All right? We got two different sides, right? And he says, therefore, Jeremiah, go and warn all Judea and Jerusalem. Say to them, this is what the Lord says. I'm planning a disaster against you. Instead of good. I'm finna get you. He says, so turn from your evil ways. And he's still giving them another opportunity, isn't he? Turn from your evil ways, each of you, and do what is right. He says, I'm planning. He didn't say I'm just planning to get you. I'm planning to destroy you. He says, but turn from your evil, each of you, and do what is right. Verse 12. And this is it right here. Verse 12 says, but the people replied, don't waste your breath. We will continue to live as we want to, following or stubbornly following our own evil desires. A cold lick ain't it? God sends the warning to those that he wants to build up and to those that he wants to destroy. And he gives them the opportunity to change. And they say, you know what, man, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Matter of fact, just stop talking altogether. And that's how we kind of do God, as we sit on the potter's wheel. We tell God, you don't know what you're doing. And you know what else we do? We stand toe-to-toe with God. And we tell God, I'm not scared of you. This is the same God that we dealing with today that destroys 20, 30,000 at one time. This is the same God that we dealing with today that when some folks just lie, they die. When some folks look back, they just withered away. God has us on the wheel. And whether you like it or not, you're being crushed. And God is trying to mold you in what seems best to him. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm in God's hand, it would seem that I am in the best hand. But when I read somewhere around Jeremiah 18, down at the very bottom, where we just read verse 12, it's some folks that did not believe that they were in the best hands possible. And they let them know that. Shut up talking to me. Y'all don't know what's best. God, you don't know what's best. I take my chances with my own self. So you have to ask yourself, you going to sit on the wheel? You going to keep jumping off the wheel? I do know this. We ain't going to be able to keep jumping back on. At some point, he going to shut the wheel down. And wherever you be when the wheel shut down, and there's only three places to be. Either you still on the wheel Either you've already been made into what seems best to him, or you never got back home. I don't know you, but I'd rather be somewhere on the wheel or already shaped into what God says I should be.